The storm desk. Read the storm, book the roofs. A year from now, a homeowner calls about a leak, and an adjuster asks what the deck looked like before the new underlayment went down. You stand there with nothing. No clip. The phone in your pocket could have answered that in 10 seconds. By the end of this, you'll know how to film a roofing job so the footage works for you. Not a movie. A record that wins jobs and protects you. The phone is free. The discipline is the product. Start with the frame that fixes everything. You're documenting a job, not making a movie. A roofing clip is evidence first and a marketing asset second. Evidence of quality. Evidence of a pre-existing condition. Evidence of what the scope excluded. Treat it that way, and the marketing takes care of itself. That also decides who holds the phone. The best filmer is whoever can shoot without taking their eyes off a hazard, often the project manager. Almost never a roofer mid-tear-off with a nail gun. Tip 1. Make safety the first rule, and write it down. No clip is worth a fall. Falls are consistently a leading cause of death in construction, and roofing is one of the most exposed trades there is. Federal OSHA requires fall protection in construction at 6 feet or more above a lower level. That's the trigger height. So the rule is simple. Film from the ground, or a stable staging area. Never climb, lean, or walk backward for a shot. Never loosen a worker's PPE, the gear that keeps them tied off, for a frame. If a clip can only come from an unsafe spot, you don't get it. Tip 2. Decide the purpose before you press record. Most wasted footage comes from filming first and figuring out the point later. Roofing video falls into 4 buckets. Internal documentation, detailed for the file. Customer update, short and narrated. Training, the correct technique for new hires. And marketing, clean and permissioned. A clip that's perfect for your warranty file, showing the house number and the open garage, is a privacy problem the second it hits Instagram. So say the purpose out loud before you raise the phone. That one sentence tells you how to frame it. Tip 3. Protect privacy like it's the law, because sometimes it is. In one 30-second pan, you can record a house number, a license plate, a kid in the yard, a claim letter through an open door, and a worker's face. The Federal Trade Commission's guidance is plain. Keep only what you need and dispose of the rest. Footage is business data. Audio is its own trap. Recording is governed by state wiretap law, and roughly a dozen states are all-party consent. When in doubt, stay visual and add audio later. Tip 4. Film a job story, not a pile of random clips. A useful roofing video has a spine. Shoot it like you might edit it, even if you never do. A reliable order for a replacement. Existing condition first, before anything moves. Then the property protection, tarps on the landscaping. Then a couple of safe process shots. Then the money details, flashing, valley metal, drip edge. Then a final ground-level walkthrough of each plane. Random clips of guys moving fast look busy and say nothing. Tip 5. Get the technical basics right so the footage is watchable. Most smartphone roofing footage fails for boring, fixable reasons. 3 habits fix almost all of it. First, lock focus and exposure before you record. Left on auto, the phone hunts and the roof pulses from white to muddy gray as you pan a bright sky. Tap and hold on the shingles to lock it. Second, hold it still. Both hands, elbows into your ribs. Third, shoot horizontal for anything with documentation value. And wipe the lens. A smudge of caulk fogs every clip. Tip 6. Treat audio as a deliberate choice, not an accident. Raw job site audio is a wall of noise. Nail guns, a generator, wind across the mic, and a crew conversation you do not want in a public clip. So decide per clip. For a customer update, step away from the loud tools and record a short, calm voice note about what they're seeing. For marketing, usually strip the raw audio and add captions, because most people watch social video muted. And if you're unsure about your state's recording law, kill the audio and add it later. Tip 7, and this is the line you can't cross. Keep every caption truthful, especially around insurance. The Federal Trade Commission standard is plain. Advertising must be truthful and not misleading, with a reasonable basis for any claim. So drop the dangerous captions. Not insurance approved. Not we get your claim approved. Here's the hard boundary. You document conditions and write an estimate. The insurer decides coverage. The homeowner owns the claim. Say you handle, fight, or maximize a claim, and you've stepped toward unlicensed public adjusting. And never put a deductible waiver on camera. That's fraud in many states. So caption the safe way, which is also the powerful way. Describe what's literally on screen. Crew lead explains the step flashing detail at the wall. Step flashing is the metal that seals a roof to a vertical wall. Footage that records what the roof looked like, the date, and the conditions supports a homeowner filing their own claim. That's useful and entirely legal. A video shows what was visible at a place and time. It does not, on its own, decide a claim. Tip 8. Use testimonials carefully and disclose any connection. A real customer standing by their new roof beats any script you could write, but the Federal Trade Commission's endorsement guides apply to small contractors, not just national brands. The core rule: if there is a material connection between you and the person endorsing you, a discount, a gift card, a referral credit, an employee, a family member, that must be disclosed clearly and conspicuously, in the video or the caption itself, not buried in a link. Tip 9. Know the drone rules cold before you fly one. Drone footage is the single biggest upgrade to roofing video, and it keeps people off steep roofs. But the phone controlling the drone doesn't make the flight legal. Fly for any business purpose, and the FAA's Part 107 rules apply. The person at the controls needs a remote pilot certificate. The drone must be registered and broadcast remote ID if required. Standard limits: under 55 pounds, at or below 400 feet in daylight. Check the airspace near airports and add drone coverage to your insurance. Tip 10. Build a closeout routine, then store and organize the footage. Video that lives and dies on a personal phone has almost no value. At the end of every job, shoot a short, standard closeout from the ground. Each visible plane, the flashing, the gutters, the cleaned yard, any deferred work stated plainly. Then name the file with a real pattern: job number, date, phase, area, purpose. Not IMG_4821. Move clips off personal phones into one approved system, tied to the property record. One weather note: roofs film best in soft, even light. Here's where the footage pays off, and where Roof Predict fits. Clips filed by address turn your past customer list into a follow-up tool. When you're deciding which streets to revisit, a neighborhood aging into the replacement window, or where a storm just moved through, the documentation is already tied to each property. Roof Predict pairs an estimated roof age range with storm exposure modeled per home to flag which roofs are likely due. It does not inspect, diagnose, or decide coverage. Roof age is a range, not a date. The inspection still earns the sale. Close the loop. Safety first. You don't climb for a clip. Name the purpose before you record. Protect privacy like it's the law. Shoot the story. Lock focus. Hold it steady. Stay horizontal. Caption only what's on screen, and never sell past what the footage proves. The insurer decides coverage. The homeowner owns the claim. Name the file. Store it by address. Keep the original. Do that, and the phone you already carry will document better and market more honestly than crews spending real money on gear. The camera is free. The discipline is the product.